Hey guys, welcome to my Geek Rant. So today I'm going to talk about something special today. So StarWars.com and EW have released a preview of Aftermath, the first novel, first piece of continuity that we're getting post Return of the Jedi that sits within the main canon. And I got to say, it looks pretty interesting. It starts off pretty much immediately after, if you remember at the end of Return of the Jedi during the celebration, they topple Palpatine's statue, and that's basically where this novel starts off. And we see a father and son who are part of the protest, and we see like the difficulty that it takes to get the statue down. So then the Imperial law enforcement comes and breaks it apart, like most law enforcement would do. They're like, okay, no more rioting. And the son is just really baffled because at a certain point, those Imperial officers don't just break up the protest. They start killing people. They just start mowing people down. And the son's confused because he's like, the Death Star is destroyed, father. Like, what's wrong? Like, why can't we, like, I thought it's over. I thought we won, And then the father's like, no, son, it just began, and that's true. Like, the Empire is not gone. Yes, they lost their Death Star, which is one of their biggest plays, but they're still around, and they're going to be pretty pissed off because these rebels have actually gained a very significant victory. And the father also said something else that I thought was very interesting. He said that there is no such thing as these multiple wars, like the Clone Wars, the Rebel Alliance, and all that kind of stuff. He equates the wars to one big war that is sliced up into pieces so that it can seem more manageable. And that kind of reminded me a little bit of the Crusades. If you think about the Holy Crusades that happened during the, I forget which century, but not thousands of years ago, but like a few thousand years ago, where it really was multiple crusades, and it was really just one long war that was just broken up into pieces. And I like that was touched upon, that all these different wars are really the same war played out over and over and over again until the conflict is finally resolved, when the bottom of all of this can just be good again. But I like that aspect is being thought about. Moving forward, so the main plot line seems to be revolving around Wedge Antilles and a certain Imperial officer. So Wedge is out in the Outer Rim trying to root out any Imperial hidings, because they've gone from the core and have hidden away to build themselves back up again, because they're starting to splinter and all that kind of stuff. And if we look at Shattered Empire, that's a new comic book series by Marvel, we can see that the moths of all of the Imperial territories are starting to fight each other. They're trying to fight each other for power, so they're breaking down more and more, so they need to reestablish themselves. So that's what Wedge is doing. He's looking to see what's going on, and then he happens upon a Star Destroyer, which is run by someone that we know from A New Dawn. That's right, Ray Sloan is going to be a part of this novel, and it looks like she's going to be the main antagonist to Wedge throughout this novel. And it was great seeing her, and it's great seeing our first new character in the continuity continue into a new story. And it seems like since we left her, she's kind of risen up in her ranks, and she's trying to prove herself now because she's got herself in a position where she can make a power play, where before when we saw her, she was kind of starting out and she wasn't completely sure of herself. Now, but she's got some years in her now, and she's got this opportunity to make a play. And she's talking about this meeting that's going to happen on the planet that Wedge is at, and that they're all at, and she's saying that they need a result, like the Empire needs a result, and she's going to be the one to make sure that it happens, so she cannot fail. Ray also mentions that it's very difficult because all of the people that were at the Death Star 2 battle were pretty much the top ranking people. Like Vader's 501st Legion was there, Palpatine's guard, and everyone was pretty much there. So the people who are left over are kind of like the misfits and the grunts. The stormtroopers that she has now are basically those who only went halfway through the academy. They just had to take them out of training really quick so they can fight. So she's showing that the Empire is in a bad spot right now, and they're pretty desperate at this point. They're not gone, but they are desperate, and it's going to be hard to win this battle. She also says something very interesting. If you remember Count Vidian in A New Dawn, he had a motto that said, forget the old way. And in this novel, she actually mentions that, and I was wondering what that meant, because before it meant forget the old way, forget the old republic, forget the republic. Now I think she might be saying, forget the old way, forget the Empire. And that to me might lead into why we have the First Order in The Force Awakens. It's not the Empire, it's the First Order. So maybe her thinking that is a stepping stone to the First Order, because forget the old way could be forget the Empire, forget about what we just did for the past 20 years. That sucked, that didn't work out. Let's think about a new way, and that new way could be the First Order of The Force Awakens. So it was kind of cool to have that little motto pushed in there and having new meaning to it as well. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I can't recommend it enough. I'm about to pre-order it right now. I don't know about you guys. I would recommend you guys do it. Looks awesome. It's gonna come out in actually, I don't know. I think it comes out in September, if I'm not mistaken. I believe September. I don't know the exact date, but I'll put it somewhere so you guys can see what date it comes out. But yes, of course, peace, love, and may the Force be with you. Always.
Luke's open and calm mind allowed for a more adaptable fighting style, while Anakin's reliance on talent and aggression was a bit more rigid.
No, why are you mowing your lawn right now? I'm recording a Let's Play.
It happened, so she cannot fail in this. Sorry, this is a fire truck. Very rude fire truck. I'm trying to make a review here, and I don't even know if you guys can hear it. All right, it's gone now.